morning, guys. I am back. It's Friday, April 14th. I got a lot to cover here. Just might be a little rusty getting back to normal schedule. First, I wanted to show you we released an update of our story trading app over here. If you don't have it, you can download it at storytrading.com/app. Make sure to go to the App Store and click update. There's still lots of updates to come, but one of the big things we did on this one is your home tab now shows all the new nuggets that people put in there, and I put a bunch in there as examples this morning. Keeps things much more organized. And then your second tab is going to be your watch list. Soon, hopefully, we're going to have another tab here under your watch list, which will be your news feed for all of the stocks on your watch list. Also, adding symbol right here, and you don't have to say what category that nugget is in. We got rid of that category selector, so things are a lot easier here on the app. Now, I was out Wednesday and Thursday. Now it's Friday, April 14th. So what happened? Wednesday, we had CPI. It was largely in line. Some say the core might still have some current concerns. Core might still be a little hot, but the market reacted well to that CPI roughly in line. And now the QQQ SPY kind of broke out, both still above the 20 DMA. Then this morning, we had bank earnings. So everyone was holding their breath, and I don't know quite why they were holding their breath for JP Morgan and Wells Fargo. I mean, this was a regional banking issue, and a lot of that money was flowing to the big banks. So I'm a little bit surprised that people were, keeping even JP Morgan down during this regional banking crisis. But now it's right back up above that 50-day moving average on a big beat and raising guidance. So JP Morgan in good shape. To me, that was to be expected, but some people were worried about that. Now, with this strong movement, a couple things I'm seeing. First of all, you can see the ETF XLF is doing well. Also, it's translating to the regional banks. They're like, all right, let's take everything up. But what I'm seeing here, look at UUP is up and TLT is down. All right, this tells me that people think the Fed can continue to be aggressive. If the banks are not in bad shape, the Fed can continue to be aggressive and raise rates. That's why you see bonds down and rates up. But a couple other things I want to draw your attention to. Bitcoin has been completely surging. I think both the move in gold and Bitcoin were really sparked by this concern in regional banks and also perhaps a broader concern with the USD as reserve currency. And one of the interesting things I've seen to keep an eye on between TLT and UUP, usually TLT and UUP move inverse of each other, which they are this morning. But for the last 10 days, they were not. So just as a refresher, how it works is if bonds go down, TLT, bonds go down, rates have to go up, UUP goes up. Or if the Fed increases rates, so that means UUP is going to go up and bonds are going to go down, right? And that's why TLT has been crashing because they keep on raising the rates, and that's what led to the regional banking crisis. But the last 7 days or so, TLT and UUP were both going down together in lockstep. You can see that 5-day move in UUP, and look at this move in TLT. TLT and UUP were both going down. And I just want to put out there as something to consider. What if there is something going to happen eventually with the USD as reserve currency? Now, I put a couple of articles I shared in our legacy WhatsApp room that really shouldn't be a concern. And I'm not saying it is a concern. I'm saying it's a perception of a concern. All right. And there's also a possibility of possibly, second currency, not something really displacing the USD. But what if countries no longer want, or the perception is people no longer want USD? Well, perhaps bonds and rates go down at the same time. The dollar, I'm sorry, not rates. Or perhaps TLT and UUP go down at the same time. If no one wants dollars, perhaps that's what happened. And maybe that's why TLT and UUP were both down in the last 5 to 7 days. And maybe that's why Bitcoin kept on pumping in the last 5 to 7 days. Just a thesis to think about. All right, I continue to be long gold and Bitcoin as a hedge against regional banking risk and reserve currency risk, or perception of reserve currency risk. If I really thought USD would lose its reserve currency status anytime soon, I mean, you're talking about Armageddon level stuff. You're talking about the biggest depression the United States has ever seen, or the biggest hyperinflation we've ever seen, one or the other. So I'm not really predicting that. I'm just trying to interpret the market psychology and how that can impact certain asset movements. So something to think about there with the macro. So we did say, hold on, before we move to individual stocks, let's just take a closer look at QQQ and SPY, which would be, I'm in the morning show already. Hold on. Let's go to the banks. Okay, so QQQ and SPY down this morning, again, on the strength of the regional, the banks, the big banks, meaning, the perception, at least for right now, that's what it is in this moment, is okay, the Fed can be continue to be hawkish on interest rates because the bank system is not collapsing. And again, no one thought it would, as the regional banks that were the issue. But in any case, QQQ still above that 20 DMA. You have resistance up here at 321 or so on QQQ, and you have support here at 314. All right, let's take a quick look at SPY. SPY also looking very, very healthy, and your resistance will be up here at the candle right there, about 418, and your support right at that 50 DMA at about 403. All right, so now let's move to individual stocks. Gold, as we know, has been doing well. I'm still keeping that. I think this is something you can continue buying the dips on. 185 is your support, and it hit a new 52-week high yesterday. So I guess that 52-week high is going to be your 190.41. Let me just make sure that, yeah, hit a new 52-week high. So there's your support there at the 20 DMA, and I'm looking for new 52-week highs at some point later this year. Bitcoin, as I've been telling you, has been really stellar, just trailing. Continue to hold that as a hedge. Just want to note, uranium all has gone really exploded yesterday. I'm not sure the reason behind that. I didn't look into it. I wonder if it's just that energy has been up. Let's see, XLE energy has been up, oil's been up, so more interest in alternative fuels. Perhaps that's what's driving it. Now let's take a look at some Bitcoin Blaze. Mara and Riot. Mara hit her target. It was like $10 last week. Now over the 200 DMA, let's look at where these can go. Look at the weekly. The 200 weekly moving average at 1439 on Mara. And then on Riot, let's see, we're above the 200 week moving average. So you got to go up here to about $15 right there. You see those bottom of these candles here? So Riot and Mara, both around $15 resistance. And kind of coincidentally, they both got upgrades this morning from Riot platforms. From Compass Point. Compass Point maintained $17 price target on Riot and a $16 price target on Mara. There it is. So 16 and 17. So these still look like they're in play above key levels, and looks like the next levels above could be a magnet on Mara and Riot. I want to bring to your attention MOGO, which I'm not an expert in MOGO, but perhaps we'll finally get Neeraj to tell us more about it. But this is, as far as I know, it's like Coin. It's like a crypto trading exchange in Canada, the biggest one there, especially after this merger that they're doing. Finally seems to have broken out of the 50 DMA, near-term target 81 cents. Okay, that's something I might actually play today. 81 cents on MOGO. So that's a good, where's my pen? All right. So that's something that I got my eye on. Then we got MSOS. I gave this to you guys like 10 days ago because there's some sort of event in Capitol Hill next week, some sort of legislation event. It's not an official session. It's some sort of convention or something. It's happening, though, in like the state, in the Capitol building in DC. You see this MACD flip, hasn't quite made it to the 20 DMA. Oh, wait, no, it's on the 20 DMA right now as we speak with the MACD flip. With the event next week in the Capitol, I wouldn't be surprised to see this break and make a move towards 633, the 50 DMA. So that's another one you should have on a watch here for today, both MOGO and MSOS. Now, ANIX has been incredible. ANIX, I did sell a little bit. The data's on Monday, so I'm getting ready to sell the rest. I'll probably sell about half today, and then the rest after the data comes out. Look, a lot of people expecting the good data on breast cancer vaccine at this point Monday, so I'm anticipating some sort of sell the news event, but maybe not before a big move in pre-market. So I'm going to leave half on the table so I can sell some in pre-market. It hit 550 right here, which I think was the last resistance level I gave it to on the last show that I was around. Now I'm looking at the 52-week high of 625 since it broke 550. So 625 is a 52-week high on ANIX. Maybe it could hit it today. Interesting that INMB has been moving really hard on also breast cancer data being released Monday as well. Now, they kind of put out the details in a PR a few days ago. And since they did, the thing has been skyrocketing. Interesting thing is that this is preclinical data, whereas ANIX is clinical data. So that's interesting. I could tell you, what is ANIX at? 176 million market cap, INMB 155 million. So I would just want to suggest from there possibility if we get positive clinical data on ANIX or breast cancer vaccine on Monday, maybe this can keep on going. But it's moved so much already. I definitely want to sell half, between here 560 and 625. but there's a possibility maybe it can run a couple more dollars, possibly, on Monday morning when the data comes out. RUM had really huge news while it was gone. I'm surprised it hasn't moved more. This just increases my conviction, especially on selling options on RUM, selling put options. What was the big news? It was the first GOP debate of the 2024 presidential primaries will be streamed exclusively on Rumble. It's also going to be on TV, but it's only going to be streamed on Rumble. It's not going to be streamed anywhere else. And I guess they're going to be like some sort of official partner. So on the debate stage, you're probably going to see Rumble there, some Rumble commercials or whatnot. So this is big news. I think this is the most established kind of endorsement they've had yet, right? Most established endorsement yet. This is huge. It's going to be on Fox News, I believe, on TV. And then you have the RNC now. This is a relationship. It's a partnership with the Republican National Committee. This is really, really big news for Rumble. And they've been firing on all cylinders, signing up huge creators. They have a 3-4 year runway. So I think things are pretty safe on Rumble, on RUM, especially to sell. Options are on ASUR. It keeps on going, hit a new 52-week high yesterday. I think this has more room. If you look at the RSI, but we got the Russell 2000 inclusion, the first list coming out April 28th. Let's see, only a 3.5% short. So it is kind of stretched. I did say my target was 16, right? If it broke 1392, I think it was, or was it 1492? 1392. I think it was 1392 was what we were waiting for. It was 1483. That's what it was. So 1483 breaks and 16 is your target. But I don't know, man. I'm looking at these candles up here. I'm not sure I see a lot of resistance between 16 and 18. So possibility that you can make it all the way to 18. I did have a limit order yesterday, so I did sell half of my shares yesterday at like 1574. But I'm looking for the possibility of between 16 and 18 here in the next couple weeks on ASUR. So that's working out well. Some interesting happenings in LAZR, LAZR. This was on our radar because there was massive call buying activity a couple days ago on these $6 strikes expiring today and then next week. Hold on. They close them out. Okay, you still see 24,000 contracts on next week, but the ones expiring tomorrow, they must have closed them out yesterday. Yeah, they did for a loss, I guess. So what happened here? I think I know what happened. Why that massive call buying? They had news yesterday at 12 p.m. Luminar announces new automated high-volume factory begins building sensors. So they had a nice press release. Someone must have known about it a day or 2 days before this press release. They loaded up on call options for this week and next week. And yeah, on the same day, though, or maybe it was the day before, Goldman Sachs came out and doubled down on their sell rating and lowered their price target from $5 to $4.50. This is really fascinating to me. I mean, there's got to be hundreds, thousands of stocks that are overvalued by what are they saying is overvalued by? They're saying it should be 450, but it's 580. So what is that? It's like overvalued by 30% or something. And Goldman Sachs is going out of their way to say sell, sell, sell. How often have you seen a Goldman Sachs sell rating? I mean, I have 300 stocks on my watch list, and I always have about 300 stocks on my watch list. And I can't remember the last time. It may have been a year or 2 years since the last time I've seen a Goldman Sachs sell rating. And they're going after this company, after this Mercedes deal, multiple times, doubling down, sell, 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 with only 30% downside. Something doesn't make sense. And what was the other thing I want? Yeah, it's 450. What did I want to say here? Okay, I had another mind. Something doesn't make sense. So I think and it's a big short position too. Look at this. 29% short. It's a little fishy to me. All right. Goldman Sachs coming out there saying sell, 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 25% lower, sell, sell, sell. Oh, that's the other thing I wanted to say. One of their theses in sell is that their margins are going to get lower. Their margins will be decreasing. Second here, because where is my banner? Can't find our banner over here. There we go. Get our free app. All right. They're saying the margins are going to decrease on LAZR because there's some microcap company out there. In fact, there's two microcap. When did Goldman Sachs talk about microcap companies? One of them was like $100 million a market cap. And they're like, yeah, there's competition out there in the form of these little microcaps. And they might hurt their margins one day in the future. The thesis just seems so strange to me coming out of Goldman Sachs. I mean, leaders in a marketplace usually get premiums, right? Wall Street doesn't usually come out and say, sell this, because even though they're the leader, there's some other microcaps out there that one day in the future can give them competition and their margins will be lower. I mean, it's just so odd to me. And it's so odd also that if the target is $1, that's something, but it's $4.50. I'm not sure that this is on the up and up from Goldman Sachs. All right. There might be some other forces within there, with the analysts, whatever it is. Maybe they're helping out a friend. I'm not sure who's really short this. You saw the 28% short position. But in any case, it looks like that bet that was made for this week was because of that press release that came out yesterday, but there's still a big OI for next week on $6. So in any case, that's the story with LAZR. If it does happen to pick up and break out, you see 650 at the 20 DMA would be your target. LNTH, this is one we covered. It had a re-rate. We did a re-rating play on this on earnings, and we calculated a price of like over $100, but it wasn't our target for the day. I forgot the reasonings why we had a smaller target. I don't know if you guys remember this. It worked out really well. But this morning, Truist Securities comes out, raises their price target to 115, and that does make sense based on their earnings. Their earnings that came out, really a biotech company with really good earnings. So 115, that could be a catalyst. New 52-week high yesterday on LNTH. Man, I did own this for a while. I just sold it because ahead of CPI, and I'm like, let me sell some LNTH since I'm up on it, and boom, there it goes for another couple bucks. All right, with a nice price target increase this morning. All right, what didn't work out while it was going? Alibaba, RELL, and airlines. I'm not in airlines, but Alibaba has been weak the last few days. I'm not sure if it's because of geopolitical reasons or what may be going on there, but oh, wow, what a fake out. Below the 50 DMA, this probably got some people out of the stock, and now back above it the next day. So hopefully that'll hold. I'm still in it. I've been selling weekly covered calls on Alibaba. I may have to lower my price target on those calls. I've been doing the strikes. I've been doing 103 strikes, been paying handsomely 3 weeks in a row. I may have to sell like 100 strikes to keep the ATM going on Alibaba. RELL has been really weak, been disappointed in the price action. We'll be talking to the CEO next Wednesday to see if we can glean something from this. Is this a buying opportunity? All right, that's what we're going to figure out next Wednesday with the CEO of RELL at 4:30 p.m. exclusively in our StoryTrading app. And American Airlines. This is a warning. So we're looking at QQQ, SPY, everything kind of doing well. Bank strong. Well, now people are worried about the bank. The Fed can be a little more hawkish, but airlines getting crushed the last few days, and that's because of recession concerns. All right, American Airlines came out. Guidance is a little bit light for the first quarter. And this is what okay, but there was also no guidance for the rest of the year. So people are starting to get a little suspicious of what's going on. And also other airlines have been down, like Delta Airlines. I think it's DA, is it? I forgot the ticker symbol, but DAL. Okay. Delta Airlines also, well, hit from 34.50, not as crushed as American Airlines. But in any case, be wary because people are worried about recession. Recession hits travel. So, I mean, how high can this market go? It looks like market's concerned about a recession. Just still be careful in this market. Look, this is a market where you have to probably trade the volatility. That's why I'm really focusing on selling options, selling calls, selling puts. That's the way to do it in this market that I can't trust yet. All right, XXII had a strong close yesterday. We'll continue monitoring that. 20 DMA. We're waiting for 7-11 news at 74 cents. I'm not sure it's going to move big until we get the 7-11 news, so hopefully that'll come soon. All right, there's two stocks here I want to draw your attention to. I've told you about these before. GRIL, man, I told you about this when I was like 95 cents. I kept pounding the table on this to find researchers who were interested in this. Didn't get any. So I put this in the app today, in the StoryTrading app. Look, their news flow looks great. They like seem to be exploding. They seem to be profitable. This little like $40 million company almost seems too good to be true. And I think a lot of people just dismiss it because it's a little penny stock. I haven't really had the chance to research it. So if you look in the StoryTrading app in that newsfeed, you'll see a nugget I put in there from GRIL. They have a common $2 million repurchase program. They're saying their newly formed subsidiary passes 6.6 net income milestone. Muscle Maker 22 revenue of 162 million. Muscle Maker crosses 200 million revenue milestone in the first 3 months, and they have a $40 million market cap. Almost seems too good to be true, but the stock has been performing ever since I brought it to the show. So I'd like for someone to pick this up, do some research on it, and let us know what you think. Here's another one, FRGT, I've been talking about. This stock's up 100% since I brought it up like a few weeks ago on some news. There's another one where it's like a penny stock that almost seems too good to be true. People look at this serial diluter from 6.16 to $1.50, and they're like thinking, all right, it's a penny stock scam. And if you look at the news, it looks almost too good to be true. These numbers are massive in terms of the revenue guidance they're having. And I think they also talk about profitability. You can look at it, take a look at these articles, take a look for yourself. I haven't done the deep research on it, but it looks like they're growing really, really, really fast. Chardon Capital maintains buy, lowers price target by 25 cents to $2. So something to look at that, again, people may be dismissing simply because of the history. There may be something there on both FRGT and GRIL. I haven't done the research. I'm putting a play out there for some others people to do the research and let us know what you think. You can let us know right in the app as well at storytrading.com/app. Clearfield been working great. I've sold $45 puts last month. They expire next week. Right at the 200-week moving average, that was my guide to sell those $45 puts. I might rinse and repeat, do that again as soon as those expire. DermTech earnings coming up. I'm going to be interested in that. Man, I really like this company, but I keep on missing it. I keep on missing this, man. They keep on signing these insurers, but it hasn't translated into revenue yet. So I'm going to watch earnings on May 4th and see what's going to happen there. I'm not sure if I'm going to take a risk on this or not, but I just love their technology, what they're trying to do with early detection of skin cancer. Who wouldn't like that? That's great, right? Early detection of skin cancer. Then we have Exact Sciences. The Exact Sciences. Can DermTech be the next Exact Sciences, right? I love INMB, Alzheimer's treatment, ANIX, breast cancer vaccine. Some of these things are really exciting, right? But just got to monitor it to make a decision when that inflection point is coming, if at all. All right. And with that, I think that's about it. Just kind of recapping where my focus is going to be. Maybe MSOS and MOGO today were the most convincing to me. ANIX also. See if we can exit that today. Let's see if there's any news in the last 15 minutes or so. And I don't see much new to talk about. So back to our full-time schedule Monday, every Monday morning at 9 a.m. We will be bringing, I know I've said it a few times, but Rex will be joining us soonish on the morning show. Not necessarily every day. And we're going to bring back Vegas and Rex. And then we got Wednesdays. We have Tuttle's Trades. Wednesdays, 10:30 a.m. every week. Tuttle's Trades. Stay tuned for that. And then Wednesday next week, 4:30 p.m. CEO of RELL. We also have 3 or 4 other CEOs we're lining up. So we'll let you know about that soon. All right, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great day. We'll see you soon.